Hey everyone, Sheila again, part two with Jamie at Good Order DC, giving us some info on how to stay organized in your home, whether it's your kitchen pantry, your walk-in closet, linen closet. She is the go-to person here in the DC metro area to help keep you organized and sane. Check it out. Thanks. So how in detail or in depth do you go when it comes to that? In my mind, so I bought this brand new bookshelf, really cool looking bookshelf. And then in my mind, I was like, what if I take off all the book coverings of every book and then put in my own book coverings, either all white or, rainbow color.
Yeah.
And then I was like, God, this sounds a little
Over the
much.
top.
Do people actually do that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
There are
Okay.
actually, you can purchase sets of books on Etsy that are not even real books. They are like bindings of classics, and you can buy them by color. You can buy, that is definitely not too over the top for some people. And we respect it. The more, uptight you are about things looking great, we are all for it.
But the crazy part is, Jamie, I was never like this. This just started. This like
Did
OCD of
COVID
mine.
have
I
any
don't
effect?
know. I have no idea. I feel like the last almost year, maybe
Yeah.
2 years, I've just wanted things more organized. Like even my own
Uh,
husband's like, wow, your side of the bed is way neater than mine. I'm like, I know. He's like, this is so weird. And then if he leaves his stuff on my side, I'll literally pick it up and throw it on his side and be like, my side's clean. That's
Yes.
your side. Don't put your stuff on my side. But I was never like this. Like I even did a disc assessment. I don't know if you've ever done a disc profile where you check your personality.
I've heard of
So
it, I've not done it.
yeah, so the C portion of the disc are people who are OCD, highly organized, accountants, librarians, these
Sure.
type of people who want to know when, how, why, where, who, and the answers to every question before they do anything. And my level for C was maybe like a -10, if that was even a possibility. Maybe it was like a 3 out of 100. And like, the last year and a half, I think it's gone up some. And I'm like, wow, this is very interesting.
That is interesting. The only thing I'll say about that is sometimes people will have us do like some really random space. And then to your point, you were saying, once you get organized, you realize how calming it is
Mhm.
and how effective, it makes your everyday life. It just makes things so much easier when you know where things are. When you're organized, you're less likely to overbuy because you can find
Mhm.
what you have, you can see what you have. You're not just buying just in case. And I think that kind of spirals because, we'll do one area for a client. They're like, oh my gosh, you have to come back and do my closet. Like, you do realize the value that you're adding. It's not just, it's the difference between just cleaning up and organizing. Organizing is actually creating a system that's easy to maintain rather than just, oh, I'm going to just, take the expired food out of here and just leave it looking, like a dumpster fire. So
So
it is contagious.
yeah, so then what do you tell clients, once you are done organizing that space or their house, what do you tell them or what do they need to do to maintain it? Because obviously they just spent all this time, all this money, sometimes that linen closet of ours can look like a hot mess, even though it's been organized, but that's
Sure.
the way it goes. So how do you keep people organized, or how can people stay organized after you've gone in and organized them?
That is a very good question. And the answer is that our goal is to leave a system that your 5-year-old could maintain. Like when we do a pantry, for example, not only are we putting in bins and labeling it so that when you're unloading the groceries where a certain item should go, we are also like, we always talk about zones. We always have things make sense functionally so that all of the snack foods are together, all of the breakfast items are together, all of the dinner prep items are together. So once you get used to it, it's a no-brainer. My sister's super messy. Admittedly, she's not doesn't care about being organized. Well, she cares about being organized. She doesn't care about organizing.
Mm-hmm.
And I, on a whim, did her pantry probably 5 years ago. And it is still to this day, like she'll send me a picture and she'll be like, oh, it's getting out of hand. And then she takes 20 minutes to, remove the packaging, shuffle things around, and the breakfast stuff is still all together. The snack food is all still together. So our goal when we leave is that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to maintain it. It's, makes sense for the way that you live and the way that you grocery shop, et cetera.
So what about when you have folks who have kids? So, I have a preschooler, but I also have middle schooler and a freshman in high school who they're like the Tasmanian devils, just go in and it's a mess. So how do you make sure those types of clients are organized or stay organized? Do you actually have conversations with their kids?
Of
like,
course.
like, oh, really? You do?
Well, we do. But we also I feel like we will have conversations with whoever's hiring us. And generally it's the wife, not always, about, some people, we organize to their needs. So if they have kids that are in there helping themselves in the pantry, we make it so that, organizing can be a variety of levels of, it could be very broad. We could have bigger bins that just say snacks. We could have, people do micro organize. If you have little kids that are just having free reign of a pantry, we are not micro organizing. So one bin says peanuts and one bin says almonds, it says nuts. And if it gets rummaged through, it's easy to fix. So I'm not sure if I'm articulating this well, but we definitely organize to your needs. If you don't want your kids, eating chocolate and Cheez-It, or not Cheez-Its, Cheez-Its is pretty neutral. I don't know, Doritos, if you don't want them helping themselves to things that are messy or things that are like less healthy, we take that into consideration. We don't put that low. So, things still need to be maintained. It's almost like we're a personal trainer and we're getting you into shape, but you still need to put the groceries away where they're meant to be. You still need to not shovel in junk food if you want to maintain your weight loss. We just give you the tools to make it easy to maintain, if that makes sense. So, if your kids are crazy, your kids are crazy. We can't make them not be crazy. But we can, organize in a way that makes the things that they want more accessible so that they're not messing up the whole pantry to get their snacks, if that makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense. Okay.
If I could add one thing, sorry, I have 4 kids and they range in age from 8 to 17. I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and their personalities are so different. Their ages are very different. So, I'm a real mom who, lives in my house gets messy, and I do have to go behind them and nag them.
Does that stress you out when you have to organize your own, or is that peaceful for you to do for yourself?